I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to have you join me on this transformative journey. You see, every day we dive into a powerful conversation about self-discovery, healing, and empowerment. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself is the first step to living a fulfilling life. You can expect insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories. Plus, we'll occasionally welcome special guests who will share their unique perspectives on self-love and personal growth. So get comfy, grab your favorite beverage, and let's embark on this journey together. Because it's time to embrace the beautiful person that you are. So let's elevate our lives one episode at a time. Now let's get started. All right, my beautiful people, welcome to the final Friday of our Creativity and Expression series, my beautiful people. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and today we are celebrating the ultimate freedom, the liberation that comes from fully embracing your creative power and standing ready to transform. What an extraordinary month that has been, from divine stillness downloads to AI-supported healing, from creativity through adversity to nature's wisdom, and from episode 333 confirmation to the breakthrough laser therapy. We have experienced a complete master class in creative liberation. But today we're not just ending a series. We are celebrating your freedom to create, to heal, to transform, and to trust the divine process of your becoming. So before we get deep into this conversation, let's take a quick break. All right, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, and make sure you tune in every Thursday night to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything from love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. By bridging the gap between them all, and we even talk about spiritual uplifting. You need to stop by. Me and Dr. Mike, as well as the BTG group. We have some amazing guests that come through. You never know. Just make sure you tune in Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to xnyomi.com and tell them Nyomi sent you. All right, my beautiful people. Well, welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks. So before we get into today's topic, you know what we need to do? We need to ground ourselves in this celebration energy. So right now, I want you to find a comfortable position. And if it feels right to you, please close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and feel the incredible freedom flowing through your being. The freedom from old limitations, the freedom from creative blocks, the freedom from the belief that you're not ready or worthy or capable. Now I want you to breathe in again, and I want you to feel the liberation that comes from knowing that you are a creative being, having a human experience and not a human trying to figure out how to be creative. Now breathe in the freedom of divine timing. And breathe out any need to rush your process. I want you to feel the liberation of trusting your downloads, knowing your guidance is real. and understanding that your creative expression serves the collective healing. I want you to feel the freedom that comes from breakthrough, whether through forced stillness, technology support, nature's wisdom, or healing that resets your entire system. Now place both hands on your heart and feel the creative force that lives within you. Unlimited, eternal, divinely guided, and completely free. Now repeat after me. I am creatively free. I am divinely guided, and I am ready for transformation. I celebrate my journey, and I welcome my becoming. Now take one more deep breath in of pure creative freedom. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes. All right, my beautiful people. First of all, thank you for just sharing that moment with me. And if you're new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, that's something we do every day, Monday through Friday, just to help ground us before we get into the topic at hand. All right, my beautiful people, as I sit here and I'm reflecting on this incredible journey throughout the entire first 6 months of this year, and especially through June, I am filled with such deep gratitude and of awe of what we've experienced together. You know, we began this month thinking that we were exploring creativity and expressions, right? But what we discovered was so much more profound, that we discovered that the path to creative liberation from the belief that creativity is a talent that some people have and others don't. A liberation from the idea that we need to wait until we're ready to express ourselves. A liberation from the fear that our stories, that our voices don't matter. That are liberations from the pattern of pushing through a steady of flowing with divine timing. And the liberation from old brain chemistry that keeps us stuck in a survival mode instead of a creative mode. Well, today we celebrate not just what we've learned, but also who we become through this process. So throughout this month, we tuned into different frequencies of freedom. And I want to remind you of each one. One of the frequencies is the frequencies of divine trust. You know, my forced stillness week taught us the freedom that comes from trusting divine timing. When we stop fighting redirection and we start receiving them as guidance, we assess a frequency of flow that eliminates struggle. And then the frequency of creative survival. You know, my guest ZY a few weeks ago, her story showed us that freedom that comes from knowing creatively is always available to us. That's even when you have no money, $5, a half a Subway sandwich. We can create solutions, we can celebrate wins, and we can transform our circumstances. The frequency of technology and spirituality. With Dr. Fuhan, that she demonstrated the freedom that comes from combining innovation with wisdom. We don't have to choose between being spiritual or being innovative, but we can be both. And the frequency of a natural flow. You know, Dr. Will, he reminded us of the freedom that comes with aligning the earth system, the earth rhythms. When we ground ourselves in nature, creativity, we stop trying to force and start allowing. And the frequency of breakthrough healing with Meredith, that she showed us the freedom that comes from healing at a cellular level. When our brain chemistry is optimized, that we naturally assess our creativity, problem-solving abilities. And then from last week's frequency of divine confirmation, episode 333 gave us the freedom that comes from knowing our downloads are real. The messages that we receive are real. So when God and the universe confirms our guidance, through synchronicity that we stop doubting and start acting. We literally begin this year of the rebirth with synchronicity. In the beginning of this year, and now 6 months later, it's been shown to us again as a reminder. As a reminder. You see, each of these frequencies is now available to you at any time. You've tuned in, you've experienced them. The part of your energetic repertoire. So let's take a moment to acknowledge the incredible courage that you developed through this month journey, through the first 6 months of this year, that you had the courage to trust the stillness when the world tells you to keep moving, that you had the courage to celebrate small wins when perfection is says to don't count it. You had the courage to consider new healing modalities when traditional approaches haven't worked. You had the courage to connect with nature when technology offers easier distractions. And you had the courage to believe that your downloads are real, that your messages are real, when logic says that they're just random thoughts. This courage isn't something that you develop overnight. It's been building episode by episode, download by download, choice by choice. And now this is the courage that is available to carry you into transformation. For me, for my transformation as well. Let's be clear about what creative liberation means, because it's not what most people might think it is. Creative liberation doesn't mean that you have to become an artist or to start a creative business. It doesn't mean that you have to be talented or skilled or recognized by others. It doesn't mean that you have to create something perfect or impressive or profitable. Creative liberation means understanding that you are creating, expressing itself as a human being. It means knowing that every problem that you solve, every conversation that you have, every choice that you make is an act of creation. It means trusting that your unique perspective, your particular genius, your particular medicine is needed in this world. It means being free from the need for external validation, because you know your creative expression is divinely guided. You know, on Wednesday Meredith Therapy, it doesn't just help people to quit smoking. It liberates them from the brain chemistry that keeps them stuck in that destructive pattern so that they can assess their natural creative abilities. And if anybody listened to that episode, I was on a fence with that. But then I understood, as I continued to listen to her, I understood what that was and why it needed to be shared with others. And then let's go back a few weeks ago when ZY's story, that it's not just about surviving domestic violence, but it's about the creative liberation that comes from celebrating every small step toward freedom. You know, and for me, when I look at it, it's like, Nyomi, appreciate it in everything in your life that you have right now. Everything that you have in your life right now is so much of abundance that you honestly don't need more. That whatever it is that God has given you, that you can use that to go to the next level. And then my expert journey, that it isn't just about removing my breast implants. It's about the creative liberation that comes from trusting downloads that don't fit logically in my timelines. You see, as we celebrate this creative liberation, we're also standing at the gateway to transformation. And I want to share something powerful with you about this transition. You see, liberation always precedes transformation. You can't transform from a place of bondage. from a place of limitation, from a place of fear. You have to be free first, free in your mind, free in your spirit, and free in your creative expressions. You see, June's journey, it has been very liberating for me. But also June's journey has been your liberation. You've been set free from old patterns, from old beliefs, from old limitations around creativity, in healing, in divine guidance. Now you're free to transform. You know, Monday News Series is preparing for transformation. It's about forcing, and it isn't about forcing change. It's about consciously, intentionally, joyfully preparing for the changes that want to happen through you. It's about creating optimal conditions for your metamorphosis. So we talked about that yesterday. It's about trusting the process of your becoming. It's about surrendering to the transformation that your liberated, created spirit is calling for. When I sit and I say that, that takes me back to a few years ago when I was listening to The Surrendering Experience by Michael A. Singer. I remember reading and listening to that book. I remember sharing that book and my experience on my podcast, Ask Nyomi. That's even before I even created the season of self-love. And so when I sit and I think about that and I think about surrendering to the transformation, you could not tell me 2 years ago that I will be doing an explanture surgery. You couldn't tell me that then. The transformation and the healing that has happened to me within these past 2 years has been amazing. And that's all that I can call it. But then what really did it for me was episode 333 for the season of self-love. I have to address that before I move forward anywhere. It was the 333 portal energy. That incredible 333 portal energy that we've experienced last Friday. And I'm going to keep saying it, episode 333, 333, adding up to 9. That's my spirit number. Appearing exactly when we were talking about divine downloads and creative courage. That wasn't just a coincidence. That was the universe and God confirming that everything that I've been exploring, everything that we've been exploring is a part of a larger divine plan. That 333 energy is about divine creativity, spiritual awakening, in the presence of ascended masters supporting our expressions, your expressions. And that 9 energy is about completion. It's about wisdom. And it's about service to humanity. Together they are saying that you have completed this cycle of creative awakening, that you have gained the wisdom. And now it's time to serve the collective through your transformation. You see, this energy is still available to you. That portal is still open. As you prepare for transformation, you are doing so with the full support of divine guidance and creative forces. Now, as we close this series, I want you to make a declaration with me. This isn't just words. This is an energetic commitment to the freedom that you claim. And I want you to repeat after me. I declare myself creativity liberated. I am free from that belief that I am not creative enough. I am free from the fear that my expression doesn't matter. I am free from the need to wait until I'm ready. I am free to trust my downloads and follow my guidance. I am free to heal in whatever way serves my highest good. I am free to transform into divine timing. I am free to serve through my unique creative expression. I am free to be exactly who I came here to be. Feel that declaration in your body. Let it settle in your bones, your blood, in your soul. So now as we transition into our new series, I want to give you a preview of what we're exploring together. And I said a little bit of it yesterday. Preparing for our transformation is about forcing. It isn't. It isn't about forcing or change or following someone else's timeline. It's about creating a sacred space for your soul's evolution. We'll explore on how to recognize when transformation is calling, how to prepare yourself and be ready and know when to make those life-changing decisions, creating the optical conditions for conscious change, working with resistance as medicine, the role of surrendering in transformation. We're talking about building your support system for change, integration practice for sustainable transformation, and trusting the timing of your metamorphosis. My goal is that each episode will build on the creative liberation that you claimed this month, that you claimed throughout the past few months, that we're not leaving anything behind, that we're taking everything forward and building on it. Now for your liberation celebration excitement for this weekend, as we transition from liberation to transformation preparation, I want you to celebrate consciously and intentionally. Celebrate your courage. Acknowledge every brave choice that you've made this month, the past 6 months. So every time you trusted a download, you tried something new, you shared your story, and you stayed open when you wanted to close. I want you to celebrate your growth. Notice how you're different than you were at the beginning of January, at the beginning of February, at the beginning of April, go down the line, at the beginning of June. What fears have dissolved, what creativity has emerged, and what healing has happened. I want you to celebrate your creations, whether it's a podcast episode that you recorded, a conversation that you had, a small win that you celebrate, or simply a new way of thinking, but acknowledge what you've created. Celebrate the freedom. Celebrate the freedom. Feel the liberation that you claim. Feel the freedom from old limitations, old beliefs, old patterns, old paradigms that no longer serves you. And I want you to prepare your celebration space. Create a ritual, a ceremony, a moment of conscious acknowledgement for this transformation, for this transition. Light a candle, take a bath, dance to your favorite song, but make this a moment. And how can we bridge this forward? As we cross from creativity and expression and preparing for this transformation, I want you to know that you're not the same person who started this journey. You're not. You've been liberated. You've been freed. You've been confirmed by God and the universe that your creative expression matters. Now you get to take this freedom and you get to use it in the most profound transformation of your life. So you get to use your liberated creativity to design your own metamorphosis. You get to use your breakthrough healing to support your transformation. You get to use your divine downloads to guide your change. You get to use your natural wisdom to trust your process. So before we close, I want to acknowledge something beautiful, that we've created a community of liberated creators together. Each person that is listening to this has been a part of the collective awakening. Your individual liberation, it contributes to collective healing. So as you prepare for transformation, you're not doing it alone. You're a part of this amazing community of souls who understands that creativity is healing and that healing is creation, and that both serves at the evolution of consciousness. Your transformation will inspire others to transform. Your courage will give others permission to be brave. And your liberation will show others what's possible. My beautiful, liberated, creatively free people. Honestly, what a journey this has been. What a celebration this is. And what an exciting threshold that we're standing at together. June began with curiosity about creativity and expression. This year began like that. It's ending with complete liberation from everything that was keeping you small, that was keeping you stuck, or was keeping you scared to express your truth. You're free now. You're free to create from your soul. You're free to heal in your own way. You're free to trust your guidance. You're free to transform into your timeline. And you're free to serve through your unique expression. Again, Monday we begin preparing for our transformation together. But that's Monday. Today is about celebration, acknowledgement, gratitude, and pure creative freedom. And again, I want to thank you all for taking this journey with me. I thank you all for staying open, for trusting the downloads, for celebrating the wins, for believing in breakthrough, and just being a part of this beautiful community of liberated creators. Next week, we prepare for transformation. But we're going to prepare from a place of freedom and not fear. We'll prepare from liberation and not limitations. We're going to prepare from joy and not application. I am so overjoyed. I am so overflowing. I am truly full. I love you. I see you. I celebrate you and I honor your beautiful, handsome, free, creative souls. Have an amazing, amazing weekend. I will see you on Monday. Have a good one. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovering and empowerment here at the Season of Self-Love podcast. Remember, embracing self-love is a continuous journey, and we're so glad to have you with us. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review. And don't forget to join our community on Facebook at Season of Self-Love. Connect with like-minded individuals who are also on their self-love journey. Now, if you have any questions or topics that you'd like for us to explore, we love to hear from you. Email us at seasonofselflove@gmail.com and let your voice be heard. So until next time, take a moment for yourself today and remember, you are worthy of love, joy, and all the beautiful things that life has to offer.